Hey guys, this is John.
And Austin.
And this is another episode of the Meatgistics podcast presented by Waltons. So this will be released right after Thanksgiving. So hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving, all our Meatgistics members and podcast listeners. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a good Thanksgiving because I know where I'm going. I am going to the Waltons family.
You're officially part of the family if you weren't already, because
basically,
yeah.
I mean, I just got back from a hunting trip with your dad. Now I'm going to Thanksgiving.
Well, my dad, my sister, my brother,
right?
Like your
brother's son.
I think you're taking my place. I don't think you're just becoming part of the family. I think you're taking my
pushing
place.
Austin slowly out. Like, no, I'm here. You don't need him. Yeah, but without kids, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
Your dad said something funny. We were talking about favorites because somebody asked, John, are you a Walton? And we just all were laughing. And your dad said, what's funny to me is that you guys may or may not know, none of you matter. Hudson is the only one I care about right now. It's like, yeah. So that's his oldest son's oldest son.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm making strombolis to bring. So
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Wow.
Figured
What's all going in that?
ham, cheese, and pepperoni.
Oh man,
And just wrapped up in whatever.
You're
that
putting
sounds awesome.
in a pizza related dish. You're putting something that's not pepperoni.
It's not
Is ham acceptable in that type of
ham.
thing?
Ham is traditionally
How
in.
come-
I'm going to make some with provolone cheese and some with mozzarella.
Now what? Why is it a strong? But why is it just not pizza with just crust also on top?
It's
That'd be a calzone. There's
No, a
pizza crust on top.
I think they're all the same. Like, what's the difference?
no
between-
calzone. The difference is calzone will have ricotta cheese, and there is something else I can't. It's something to do with the sauce. Like a stromboli, you dip in a sauce.
Calzone has sauce in it.
Right.
Stromboli does not have
There
sauce
you
in
go.
it.
Does it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the other big one though is the ricotta cheese, which will not be in mine because it's disgusting.
Those sound good though, man.
Although
Wait. But we were converting you.
Yeah.
When we were at Patrick's
Where was
wedding,
it?
they
It was
had
Patrick's wedding.
ricotta cheese in the lasagna. You were like, "This is
it
good."
was delicious, right? Almost to the point where maybe it didn't have ricotta cheese.
I have no clue.
You need to find out.
Yeah, sure.
Call somebody.
Why don't you call them?
I don't know who they are.
You were there.
Do you know who?
I know the name of
Catered
the place. Yeah, yeah. The people there. They
Okay,
all in house.
They
Yeah,
do
that's
it
great.
there. Cool.
Just call them. Do you guys have ricotta cheese in your lasagna? Oh, let me find out. No. All right, bye. That's it.
Yeah, it sounds like a great conversation. I have no problem with that. But all right, before we get to anything else, let's get to featured flavor. I've got some bratwurst here that I just cooked up, and I did cook them up in the toaster oven, so not as good, but still will give us a good indication of the flavor. These are the Loaded Liberty sausage that we don't make all that much, and I put a very small amount of what will be a slightly milder version of our new ghost pepper cheese. So this will be a
little spicy.
more of an indication of what that would taste like than what it will actually taste like.
Man, there's always good sound effects with you guys eating. We should double down and get paid from like Adobe stock or something.
I stepped back from the microphone.
No, I don't mind
I
it.
tried.
I'm saying
Okay.
let's get paid for it. It's like ASMR with two dudes with mustaches eating food.
I was this close to shaving my mustache this morning.
What happened?
I was gonna shave it, and then I was like, "Wait, I gotta talk to Leo first. I don't want him to just like cry because he's like, I just wanted your mustache." Because he would cry. He cries over stuff like that. So
You guys look like strongman twins from the 1920s holding dumbbells, standing on each other's shoulders, upturned mustache.
So what happened? Did he say don't?
So then I asked him. I was like, "Hey, buddy, what do you think? Should I shave off my mustache?" And he's like, "I don't know." And he's thinking about it, and he's like, "No."
Nah.
He's like, "You should keep it." I'm like, "Okay, we'll keep it for now."
Well, mine is coming off as soon as I'm contractually allowed to.
You cheated though.
How did I cheat?
You've been I don't know. What do you call it? Trimming it.
Oh,
You didn't just let it grow for a month.
The only thing I did is cut it. Like I took it sideways
around the lips, or
and
what?
yeah, just stopped it right.
Oh.
shy
Did you watch a
lips.
video where they go that way, then that way, or you just
No, I
you
just
winged
went
it?
Good.
Ah.
We're done. Okay, Loaded Liberty. What are your thoughts?
Very good. I wish, I don't know. I wish it had a different name because Loathed Liberty doesn't like tell you what it tastes like.
Can we
and I
change
don't
the
know
name?
what to explain it as. It's really good.
Really strong onion flavor, sour cream, and chives. Those are the 3 flavors. I'm like, that's in there. And then the ghost pepper cheese obviously gives it a little bit of bite that it wouldn't have normally. But this is a milder ghost pepper cheese, and I didn't put much in.
Yeah. The heat's very mild. Like, to be honest, that's almost a nice touch to it that like, I know like my first inclination is like shove as much cheese into it as you can. Someone actually was cracking jokes about that on Meatgistics this week. Somebody was talking about how much cheese and they're like, Austin would tell you to put more, blah, 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 and something. They were going on about it, but just like a touch of it it's really good. You still get the cheese creaminess, but you're not just overpowered by the heat. So I love it.
Yeah. All in all, very good. Give it a try. It's Loathed Liberty sausage. We're talking, it's got salt, sugar, dehydrated vegetables, which are onion, garlic, horseradish, and chives. Wonder why I pick up chives more than anything else. Yeah. Spice, natural fruit and spice extractives. That concerns me. Dry vinegar, maltodextrin, MSG, whey solids, natural sour cream flavor, and natural cheddar cheese flavor. So maybe we didn't even need to add cheese. But I'm going to continue to eat this.
I don't know. I don't really get the cheddar cheese, but I don't know.
It is the very last ingredient, so there's not a ton of it.
It's probably one of those things. You're not made to like actually like get the whole flavor. It's just complementing other things.
Okay. Our bet. For those of you who are listening to this for the first time, Austin and I have a bet yearly on who finishes higher in the final rankings, Notre Dame or Kansas State. It's been a bit of a down year for both of us. We both have 3 losses.
It's been horribly depressing. Both of us should have been better this year.
Yes, absolutely. I especially thought we were going to be better when we lost to Ohio State on the last second play. But no. But we're 18 and you're 19.
I know. They don't even show what the point differential is. It's just, here's the ranking. I want to know how close are we? Because in my mind, this last week, if we would have done what we were supposed to do and we would have actually like just rammed the game home against Kansas, we would have overtaken you guys. But we can't get our act together and we barely win the game by 4 points. And
who do you guys play?
This week we play Iowa State. One of the, to be honest, one of the, in my opinion, the best rivalries in the country. It's
Kansas Iowa State?
K-State Iowa State. It is the longest running currently the longest running rivalry in history. Farmageddon, baby. Wheat versus corn. It's the national game on Fox on Saturday night.
I have a skeptical hippopotamus face on this.
I've never even heard the word.
This is not a rivalry outside of this little area.
The
of the
longest
country.
running rivalry in college football.
Unless Seneca Wallace is on Iowa State, I'm not watching. So who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. It at least hits enough in the ratings that they put it on the national spotlight on
a lot
Fox.
of delusional people out there.
But your door
Farmageddon,
to
baby.
conference championship is closed, right?
No, here's the I'm so fired up about everything about that right now because the Big 12, they claim to have clarified the rules and it's a bunch of BS. They changed the rules. One could argue that they changed them into a way that is actually fair, but they still changed them, and you can't change the rules in the middle of the season. It's wrong.
No, that's accurate.
K-State, if we would win out as of like 2 weeks ago, we were going to be in the conference championship game. They changed the rules. Now the only way for us to get in is mass chaos, whereas we had the tiebreakers. According to the rules, it was very explicit of how it would be, and we had the tiebreakers. The tiebreaker was going to be basically who beat Kansas and Iowa State. We still have to play Iowa State. I'm assuming we beat Iowa State.
Sure.
If we would beat those two, that was the tiebreaker between the rest of the top 3-4 teams involved in who's going to the championship. And they changed it, and now we're screwed.
So who do you need to lose next week?
Texas, or we need Oklahoma and Oklahoma State to lose.
Okay.
If Texas loses, in theory, unless they change the rules again, it will default back to the way the rules were before they changed. And we will own the tiebreaker again amongst all those four. And we should be the number 1 seed. But they will probably come out and say, well, these rules aren't fair and we don't like how it is. And they will knock us out again. I almost guarantee K-State will not be in the Big 12 championship no matter what happens, because for whatever reason, somebody has it in their head that they don't want them in this year.
That makes me happy, though.
If we would get in, we will overtake you, absolutely.
Unless you lose.
We could still.
No, you can't have a fourth loss and be ranked above us.
Yeah. If it was against Texas, who's going to be by then, they're what, 6, 7? We do another overtime loss to Texas, we could jump you still.
Unlikely. We play Stanford, so
Yeah.
we should both win those games, finish at 18 and 19, and then I do toupee shopping.
This is going to be absolutely fantastic if you somehow lose. It will just like totally change things around. I don't even care what happens to K-State really the rest of the year. I'm so upset right now that K-State is just getting screwed. We're having a bad year, and I'm going to have to wear a toupee because of it.
You are going to have to wear a toupee, and we're going to have to go out to the grocery store and to a restaurant. We're going to watch you try to sell Austin with hair. Somebody said I should get you a really good toupee, and hopefully that kicks off like you being like, ooh, I like this. And then you start wearing toupees, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get you a ridiculous looking toupee. So
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even want to.
I know you don't want to
look
it.
or think about any of it until it is actually factual.
Fair enough.
I'm still holding out like a glimmer of hope that I'm not going to have to do it.
All right. So I just got back from a pheasant hunting trip in Colby. I went out with Brett, Allie, his Brett's daughter, his wife, his son, and his son's oldest son. Hudson is 7, so he didn't hunt with us. He just walked all the fields. He was wearing a vest that was like 6 sizes too large for him. It hung all the way down to his boots, but he was loaded down with birds.
Really?
Like he just kept grabbing birds and putting them in and just trucking along, being a little trooper. He was not going to let anything stop him. A bird would go down and he would race the dogs to get there first. He had a blast, it seemed like, at least.
That's awesome. That sounds like my brother's son. Somebody was asking, like, how's a 7-year-old going to go through the field? I'm like, my brother's going to yell at him, like, get up and go. He just, yeah.
He required no.
The two of them are just very determined individuals.
Yeah. But our guide, we went with a new guide this year for a couple of, the people we normally go with just didn't do it this past year. I've talked to them. They're going to do it next year, but. So we go with this guide, and we don't, it's the first time we're doing it with someone different, so we don't know how it's going to go. We're talking to him the day before. So we get in the field, and he's like, we're going to go down to this place. As we pull in, we see pheasants fly into the field. We're like, okay, well, that's good. And your father makes a nice shot on the edge, and the guy, like, just goes ballistic in celebration.
Really?
We're like, okay, we're in good hands. Like, we're going to have a good time. And that first day, we only missed one pheasant. And it got up like 80 yards away and was flying away from us. I think either your father and I took a shot at it, just like, why not? Or your brother and I, but we had no real hope of getting it. So we nailed every bird down. The next day, that night, I win another gun. So
took a bathroom selfie with it.
I did take a bathroom selfie with it.
It was an amazing picture.
I won a TriStar over under 12 gauge. Which now means I have 5 shotguns, and I shoot shotguns exactly twice a year at the Bust of Clay and this. Those are the only events because I just don't do a lot of bird hunting. Anyways, but I used that gun the next day because I am a child and can't not do that.
Yeah.
But I shot much better with it. The very first bird that came up, your brother, like it was right in front of your brother. He took 2 shots at it, missed them both. Then another bird came up, he missed that. Another bird came up. I missed 2 shots at it. But then after that, we just were like, we were smoking them. I don't know how many birds he and I shared because we both shot it. But there was one that I think we might have even just left it in the field because we basically exploded it.
Oh,
we both hit it like dead center at 15 yards, and the feathers went everywhere.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
I only got like a little bit of story from my dad, but the biggest thing he said was that he basically said you and Cole sucked on the second day.
What?
So did you actually turn it around?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He said it kind of nicer than that, but
the first day we were bad, or the first day I was bad.
Or maybe it was the first day.
Yeah, the first day.
Okay.
But no, the second day, that first little, 100 yards we were struggling with, but then we were much better after that.
Cool.
All right, then we've got our Black Friday deals are going to be released the same day that this is being released. So if you're listening to this and you were looking for any size manual sausage stuffer, those are on sale between 20 and 28% off, depending on the size. We've got the meat bag tape machine for just $12. We've got 28% off the 600-pound scale. We've got 30% off the jerky rack and pan. The Fresh Seal vacuum sealer, our little black one, is just $90. We've got 25% off the 12-inch Pro, and the chambered vacuum sealer is on sale again. And that's $250 off. So that's going to be $849.99 from Black Friday through Cyber Monday. Now, on Cyber Monday, we are going to have our long live stream. We're going to start it at noon and go to 5. We're going to have some guests in every hour for 30 minutes. So at 1, I think either Dylan or Flip comes in for 30 minutes. At 2, the other one comes in. No, Kurt comes in because I kept him and your father far apart intentionally so that they don't bleed over into each other and we lose complete control of the live stream. But yeah, so we'll have people coming in. If anyone has any good meat processing questions, join us for that. Dylan is a great resource for that. I started a post on Meatgistics. If you have a real intricate question, please post it there first so I can show Dylan so that he can get some time to like formulate his thoughts, or maybe even have to look up something. Because some of the questions people ask are incredibly intricate.
Mm-hmm. So the other thing there, I assume he's not going to listen between because it's come out Friday and everybody's going to be on Monday. But if he does, oh well. But Andrew supposedly, him and Chris were talking, and Chris was giving him grief about when Andrew was on the podcast last time. He ate something spicy and was like instantly just like sweating.
Yeah.
It was like a thing. So Andrew supposedly he's coming prepared this time, and he's gonna be wearing a hat.
Okay.
So if he doesn't, we should have something hot and spicy like ready on standby.
Yep.
Just to mess with him a little bit, and then we probably have to just reach around back and grab a hat for him. But
he can't have any of those hats. Those are display only that I wear sometimes. All right, hold on a second. I want to find when our novelty thermometer is coming in.
oh my goodness, that is like it's supposed to be here.
Should be either tomorrow or
what? I don't even know what today's date. Today is the 22nd. It's supposed to be here Friday. It's supposed to be here the 24th. That was the last.
it's still the 24th.
Yeah. So
We're getting close to that.
our 12-inch thermometers supposed to be here Friday.
That'll be a great Cyber Monday flash
Oh my
sale.
gosh, I'm gonna give away so many of those. Like unreal. Because to be honest, I can throw those in a little envelope and ship them out for probably $2 USPS. So
Okay.
our cost into it is going to be minimal on the shipping side. That's usually, to be honest, that's sometimes the hardest thing about giveaways is all the
shipping.
stupid shipping.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. But Cyber Monday, we're going to have coupons like we've done in years past, where we're going to give out like a 20% off coupon, and that will be good for the first like 5 users. And then we're going to have a 15% coupon that's good for the first like 15 or 10 users, whatever. And then like just a general coupon. So have your carts ready. Make sure that as soon as we announce that coupon, you're able to pop right into it. Because if you don't, you're not going to get it.
And we should have on Thanks Back Monday, so Monday after Thanksgiving, free shipping is what, over $35?
25.
25?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to reveal that?
No, that's fine.
Okay. So like if you want to get stuff through the day, we have flash sales, things happen. You don't have to save up and just order like once. Like free shipping should be low enough. when you get to $25, we have a flash sale. You like it, just go buy it, and then you'll get. Yeah, you're gonna get more packages sent to you potentially, but you don't have to like save up and wait on everything.
Would you like some chocolate covered pretzels, peanuts, and then assorted nuts?
No.
Purchasing was making fun of me because I came in like 6 times to eat this yesterday. So they just gave it to me.
I want some, but no.
Why do you say no like that? Are you trying to lose weight?
Oh, I need to lose weight, but I just, sugar, no. I forgot we were doing podcast this morning when I was on my way in, and I had some other errands to run. So I was like, I'm hungry. Stopped by Quick Trip, got a breakfast burrito. So ate that, then eat some of this. I just don't want more food either. But I love chocolate covered stuff. But
that has to go away. It's
don't need it today. So
out of sight, out of mind.
Oops.
Well,
where am I going? Here we go.
Do you want to talk about that or no?
Wouldn't say it's dead. It's just
you don't think that version of it is?
Oh, that version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But something's still coming.
Yeah. So those of you who follow us on social media or pay attention to a lot of what we post on Meatgistics, know that we've been working on a dry curing cabinet, testing it from a vendor, and we are not going to bring that in.
It just doesn't perform and do what it's supposed to do. It is supposed to like control humidity, and it does not at all. Did you try dry aging in it yet? Gonna still try that, but
yeah, I'm gonna go buy some primals and we'll get it in the big one.
At least making dried sausage, not really a success. I mean, we've ate some, it's been good, but for something to be like truly like a quality product, it's just not there.
Well, a couple of things for the people who are like, well, we made pepperoni in that one. Then we made that Landjaeger that Dylan said was some of the best dry cured sauce, or one of the best examples of a dry cured sausage he'd ever seen. I pulled those and wiped them with vinegar so many times because they were growing mold, to the point where we even tried loading the big one, fermenting, like getting that pH drop, then moving it to the smokehouse, stabilizing it in there at like, I think it was 120 degrees internal temperature for 4 hours, putting it back in there. And we were like, we're good. We went multiple weeks without a hint of mold. We're like, all right, cool. If we want to do it, this is how you have to do it. I took Friday off, checked on them Thursday. They were fine. Came back Monday. And my initial thought was somebody had taken some sort of weird push tab and pushed it into the side of the sausage as like a sensor or something, because it was all white with just like a little bit of bluish green in the middle. No, and then I looked, I'm like, wait, they're on a bunch of them. They sprouted mold like bad.
Mm-hmm.
So those had already been fermented. They'd already been then slightly thermally processed. So that draws more moisture out of them. And then the units still allow mold to grow. And this is after like everything got wiped down with vinegar in between. Everything got sanitized in between. So there's just not enough way to control airflow or humidity in there.
Yeah.
So we're moving on. We're going to bring in, we're going to try a different vendor.
Power didn't go out or anything. Would that affect the unit? Does it have like a backup potentially?
It doesn't, but no, power didn't go out over the
Okay.
week. I mean, I assume we would know. So yeah, we're going to bring in a different vendor. I'm still going to go forward with like what's already in there, because why wouldn't I? But yeah, we're going to use a vendor that actually has a humidity tank in there, and proper airflow. So we'll see what happens.
So something's still coming, just going to be a little bit longer of a wait.
Yeah.
Hopefully not as long as like some things that we've promised people.
We'll
like,
see.
Like electric stuffers.
Yeah,
that took
was
us
the
like
big one.
2 years.
That was the big one. We kind of learned our lessons to at least not put it online available for pre-order.
Yeah. It like the electric stuffers took so long, but in my opinion, like it was worth it because of what we have today is such an amazing product. So
we had the vendor in, was it last week? Yeah,
week
whatever.
before.
The vendor was in recently, and I want a 10 millimeter stuffing tube for this because that's what I've been running on this. Now, you're only going to be able to do that on like pork. And I mean, if you make chicken snack sticks, you can do it on chicken as well. You're not going to want to do it on beef. You're not going to want to do it on wild game. It's just too thick. For that, you need the 12 millimeter tube. But once I showed them how well it ran on with the 10 millimeter tube, they were like, okay, we'll make that for you. So should be able to make pork snack sticks on 16 millimeter.
You guys are gonna hate me. I cheated on you guys yesterday. I had a twin pack of Slim Jims yesterday,
Okay.
and it hurt my stomach. So I want you to know it wasn't like I had a great time or anything, but it did taste phenomenal. So
He says you're going to hate me like we don't already. That's weird.
get that, clip that.
Jerome, I still go buy store-bought snack sticks. Like if I don't have anything and I'm out somewhere, I forget where it was the other day. I bought a bag of like old Trapper like
Oh, you
snack
got the
sticks.
bag?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
man.
whole bag.
I got you.
I had a hangry wife and a couple hangry
Gotta do
kids,
something.
and I was like, everyone needs some protein.
There you go.
And that looked like
Instant.
the best option. And to be honest, it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like something we made, but it was good.
Did we have the Timber Creek meat snack sticks on the podcast that I got when I went out golfing?
I
Did
don't
we
think
really
so.
not? Okay. Well, I've got some more of their summer sausage. So I'll bring that in for next week and we can try that. But yeah, they had a pineapple teriyaki
Whoa.
something that was
Interesting.
with ghost pepper.
Whoa,
Or no,
what do we do? Whoa.
pineapple teriyaki.
Whoa.
Then the other one they had, they just called ghost sticks. And it was just like a basic with a good amount of ghost pepper. They were both really, really good.
Cool.
And they used large sticks. Like I think it was 21.
21s, yeah.
And then instead of like a clean cut on the end, it was more like a sausage.
Mm.
So I'm wondering if they just did that and hung them or if they laid them on racks. But
Yeah, no. Sometimes, like, I don't know, you see some guys that's just what they've used forever is 21s.
Mhm.
And so they just keep doing it. It hasn't that, I don't know, in like the like gas station market, it's been like over the years, like everybody wants like small, tiny snack sticks. You've started to see like more come out with like big 21 millimeters again. I've been seeing them pop up more and more often in gas stations and convenience stores and
Yeah,
whatnot.
the 21s I made right before I started using 16 on those, I liked. It's different than the 19 millimeter for sure, and way different than the 16 millimeter. But yeah, it's a good way to do it. Another thing we're going to do is I've already taken the pH of a couple of batches of snack sticks I made recently. We're going to bring Dylan's or Walton's water activity meter reader on here, and we'll run it while the live stream is going. And if those are shelf stable with pH and with water activity, I'll send out a bunch of those. If not, I've got jerky.
Okay.
So, okay. All right. We did all that. Moving on. Okay. This isn't really meat matters, but I want to talk about it now. I have a note saying perhaps the most important study of all time has been released. And what it is eating pasta does not lead to weight gain, says experts.
Whoa.
Pasta has a low glycemic index and therefore does not increase blood sugar levels to the same degree as comparable carbohydrates. Researchers at St. Michael's Hospital conducted a systematic review and meta-analysis of all available data on the subject from randomized controlled trials. They found 30 trials involving almost 2,500 participants who consumed pasta instead of other carbohydrates as part of a healthy diet with a low glycemic index.
So it's not the pasta; it's the Italian sausage, sauce, and bread I'm eating at the same time. Is that
Pasta's back on the menu. No, it's probably the bread.
Why is pasta different than bread?
It's because low glycemic index.
Did you not hear?
Did you not
the
hear what I
article?
just read?
But that is
Pay attention.
Doesn't it all come just from wheat?
I have no clue, dude.
Like, what's the difference?
Don't poke holes in this for me.
I don't
Like,
understand.
I'm going to start eating pasta again, and you're going to
so
be happy
you were
for
actively avoiding
Yeah, I don't
pasta
eat pasta
because you thought it was just terrible for you.
me. Yeah,
Is it like a certain
because I'm
type of
sick
pasta?
of being fat.
Does it need to be like
No.
whole grain?
You're not even fat.
Pasta?
Just wait till you're really fat and you go like, man, I wish I was
I'm
that
not gonna let
size
that
again.
happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not
It doesn't say that. It just says pasta. I look for like brand recommendations or anything. It just says pasta. So all pasta is back available.
Well, you could have had some of that, like, what is it, like chickpea pasta or whatever. They're making pasta out of like everything now, dude.
White trash pasta. I can have that again.
Oh,
What's
with
that?
with like the crack pasta, it's like bacon, cheese, and like no. What? Okay,
Mine's
explain yours.
way more.
What's yours?
Mine is pasta cooked with butter, and then cheap Parmesan cheese
Oh yeah.
and Frank's Red Hot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so
I didn't know that's
good.
what it's called.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I call it.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, I'm so excited for that. Okay. So look for me to either maybe get fat or not, depending.
Man.
Maybe we should start another weight loss competition.
That probably isn't a bad idea, to be honest. Really what it is I've got to stop doing so much drunk cardio. That's the problem. It's because
Was it not working anymore?
it just needs to be just cardio instead of drinking and cardio.
Come on.
I do love it though.
He was 3 weeks hard into like, dude, I'm going, it's the best time.
No, I'm
ever.
still doing it. Oh, I'm still, yeah. Don't. I haven't stopped doing it. It's awesome.
I gotta cut it out.
It makes cardio that I'm like happy to do.
Hold on. Are you drinking a lot first and then cardio, or are you drinking while cardio?
Okay. So there's two ways it goes. It always starts off with I get home, I have 2 fingers of whiskey, and then I walk my dogs. Then I come back and I either will have another finger of whiskey and go down there, or I'll grab a couple of beers and go down there and drink them while I'm going. I tend to get angrier and do more cardio, like at a higher rate if I bring beers with me.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe the carbs from the beer like fuel me like as I'm going. But yeah, no, you sweat out all the alcohol, so you wake up feeling perfectly fine the next day. There's no hangover. Now,
you sweat it out.
Granted, I'm only having
3 shots and
4 drinks total, so it's not, I wouldn't be really hungover anyways. But anyways.
Oh, by the way, they do have a wine you can drink while working out. It's like meant to be used during that. Bert Kreischer was pushing it for a little bit.
So it's specifically for that?
I mean, I'm sure you can have it without working out.
Right.
Yeah, he was running on a treadmill and drinking at the same time. And it was for that. It wasn't just something, of course, he would do. So.
I don't know, any drinking advice or activities that you start getting into like Bert Kreischer territory, you should probably stop.
Yeah, consult a doctor.
Tough sell,
for sure. All right. Monique sent me this graphic here that says the most consumed type of meat by country, including fish and seafood. But I've got some questions on it. So number one, it shows the US, Canada, and most of South America is poultry. We've already been over that. That's true. Americans, for the first time ever, ate more than 100 pounds of poultry per average adult. I think it was last year. So poultry is the number one thing we consume. Brazil is still bovine meat, so good for Brazil. Then it's like
no.
What?
Brazil is poultry. Argentina is bovine.
Duh.
I need to go back to geography. Apparently,
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say. I
think Hitler escaped to Brazil, dude? What an idiot!
I was literally talking about this like this past weekend. Talking about the
guy who got elected in Argentina.
No,
brought it up.
No, so we were talking. It was about food. I think we were eating it's because we were eating. Went to a farmer's market. Was eating some like Argentinian cookies, and I didn't know where it was from, but I was telling my wife, I'm like, this tastes like they're from Argentina, because I did a I don't know, big report on Argentina back in the day, when I was in school.
Wow.
And then so we were talking about it, and I'm like, Argentina, lots of beef production, this and that. Like I was talking it up, so it's just kind of interesting that this is like.
How did you identify them as Argentinian cookies?
Because of the type of caramel that was inside it.
Wow. That's sophisticated palate there, sir. I don't even know where Brazil is versus Argentina. And you can identify a cookie based on the type of caramel.
Yeah.
And it is caramel, not caramel.
That's whichever. There's no right or wrong way. But yeah, that is almost depressing that like the whole Western hemisphere, Argentina, that's it.
Yep. And then you've got Kazakhstan and a couple countries around that. Then like the Sudan, Chad, Egypt are bovine.
Now, this might be slightly wrong to say, but why is it India that like doesn't?
Yeah.
Thinks okay. India and Pakistan hate each other. So is that why Pakistan is bovine?
That's possible. I guess
they just hate India.
Screw you. We're gonna eat your sacred cows. It could also be. I know I've told the story before, but I went to Fiji 10 years ago, and there were just cows randomly walking around that everybody could eat. They were like deer. Here, you just shoot the cow and eat it.
Never had a chance, dude.
Every time I bring it up, he's so that might be the same thing in Pakistan, right? It could be just like that they're a lot, like, you know. But anyways, Russia is also poultry, but the one that surprises and makes me concerned about the validity of this list is China. It says China's main thing is fish and seafood, but if you look down, we've got poultry below pork significantly in China, depending. Now, this is the last month's sale. It's not the last year or whatever it was, but
are those two graphics from the same story?
No.
Okay.
So I don't know what to believe.
Do we know when the first graphic of the whole world was from?
Don't know.
Okay.
But here's something else that's interesting. Look at the US. So poultry has been our number one for a while, but beef is above that. Do you think there's that big of an increase in beef sales during the holiday season that could be the cause of this? Like, I think of beef season as summer.
Beef is not this time of year. No, it's ham and turkey.
Right. I think of beef as more like a summer thing because people are grilling out a lot more. They're smoking a lot more.
Yeah.
So,
well, hold on. Around the holidays in different countries, like prime rib and beef Wellington and stuff like that, they might tend to more focus on instead of poultry like we do. So,
no, I also you said around the world.
Yeah, in other countries and
right, but this is just the U.S.
Oh, is that what the list is?
So I don't know.
And there you go.
Anyways, don't know what to believe. Either we have eaten more beef, or we eat more beef around the holidays than anyone realizes, or one of these things is lying to us. All right, let's go to the Meatgistics. I want to look at people's pictures that they've posted to the what did everyone cook today? Well, this isn't what everyone cooked today. West Virginia Tim, or WV Tim, I have to believe, we've been over this with him before.
Yeah.
Okay. West Virginia Tim got himself a nice dough and then made some awesome sausage. I couldn't figure out if that sausage is actually from that dough or not. The sausage was posted first. So could be, couldn't be, I don't know. But the sausage looks great. Nice full stuff on his summer sausage at the bottom, and his roped sausage looks great too. Then we've got Possum, who ate some Rocky Mountain oysters. I don't like all of the extra stuff on the ones on the bottom right. That makes me way more uncomfortable than the testicles themselves.
The plate that he has in the second picture is the same plates I'm pretty sure I used growing up.
I love recognizing stuff.
You have that the leaf pattern?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I could deal without the Clemson Tigers. Makes me remember Notre Dame losing to them.
I don't have a lot of hate against Clemson.
Not really, but I don't want to think about them losing. Oh, because they beat us?
No.
We beat them last year.
The only reason I don't like Notre Dame is because I want them to lose in the overall rankings against K-State. There's a lot of teams I have actual distaste for. But
give me your top 3 disliked teams.
Ohio State, Michigan, and Alabama.
Meanwhile, Iowa State. Where's
right? Yeah,
the biggest rivalry.
What's the biggest rivalry in college sports? Not even in your top 3 disliked teams. How does that make sense?
No, because they don't. The other teams, they get too much respect on stuff, and they just get shown favor and everything. Iowa State has to earn everything they get.
Okay, mine are Michigan, Florida State, and I guess we could throw USC in there. But even though they're our biggest rival, like I don't hate them. They've been bad for so long at this point that it stops being a rivalry at some point.
Bad for so long.
Yes, they have.
This year they're not good. They were good last year.
No, they weren't.
Were they not?
Well, not into the point where they were in contention for
top 10.
Anything. No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
maybe.
Okay.
But it used to be back in the 90s, like hated them because they were always beating us. And then in the early 2000s, we had all those amazing games with the Reggie Bush push. But then they just like, they get overrated every year at the beginning of the year. They're just like the Cowboys. So anyways, all right. Old Smokey was doing some chili cooking in a fire pit.
That sounds like a great idea.
That is like Mongo. What does he say? Mongo need food? I can't remember what it is. Do you know what I'm?
All I know is Mongo. All I know and remember is Mongo like candy.
Mongo like candy. Great movie. You don't get it?
I don't know what you're doing.
What else can we say that wouldn't be too obvious? No, can't do that one.
Oh boy.
Can't do that one.
There's a lot you can't do.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. Yeah. I was about to get us in a lot of trouble. All right. Serge made an awesome looking pizza, but I do want to point out this little odd piece down here. Now, I get that because I've had that trouble as well in the past.
Sometimes you just end up with a little extra dough and you don't want to work it around to another side. So you just
And why cut it off?
leave it.
Right. Yeah. But it looks good.
That's great for either honey or ranch. Take that piece. Have you ever, I don't know. Are you on board with that type of thing?
Honey on pizza?
Crust.
Oh, yeah.
Dipped crust in honey or crust in ranch.
that's fine.
She's one of the two.
No problems.
Ooh.
Is your wife going to make, what are you guys making? Can she make
Get you
sourdough pancakes?
requests. Jesus,
For
buddy.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Why not?
Hold on, it's tomorrow. What are you doing?
I don't know. I can ask her. Maybe.
That's what I want. You guys don't understand how good these pancakes were.
The tone of your voice and the look in your face as you said that. I don't know. I will ask her to make sourdough pancakes.
It's the only time I've ever enjoyed a pancake where I didn't put I put nothing on it. I ate them raw.
This is a smart move though, because it's like come around holiday times. I don't know what to get, John. That'd be a nice gift, and you just get a big plate of food, all your favorite stuff. You told everyone you liked that.
Yeah,
year.
I
It's the
love
best.
that.
Yeah.
Then Tex, not unfortunately, at everything I looked at, that is the best picture that's been in that in quite some time. It's a actually like well taken picture. It's crisp, it's clear, and the ribs look absolutely
Oh, I saw that one.
Look really good.
delicious.
Yeah.
That made me very hungry looking at that this morning. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I could go for. I could
Was it
crush some
Tex
ribs.
that posted that? You said?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, whose house were you at, Tex? Who posted that? Who made those ribs?
Ooh.
Oh, that's insulting.
I was
I was
I
waiting
just-
for the alleviating laugh, and you guys like, hold on, wait a minute.
I just remembered something. You're not going to like me.
What'd you do?
I might have to make some sourdough pancakes, but they might not be for tomorrow. We'll see. I'll still talk to Jenny. See if
What
she
would
can
they
do
might
it,
be
but
for?
I'm gonna talk her into sourdough pancakes probably twice now. We were talking with Tex a few days ago. Talking if we were going to K-State game this weekend.
Uh-huh.
He said he's probably cooking some sort of stew or gumbo. And then I was trying to figure out what we were doing. So I'm talking to the rest of the family. I think we're doing Brenner. So
Nice.
I could do sourdough pancakes for tailgate.
Burner's great. I haven't done that in way too long. I need to do burner again. Another thing I've been doing is buying bacon at the store, taking our authentic buffalo,
Bacon?
sprinkling it on bacon, and then putting it on racks at like 350 degrees until it's just shy of crispy. And it is an absolutely delicious snack.
Maybe we should try cooking bacon on racks in there.
Oh, that's the only way to do it, apparently.
I don't really do it like just in like a I don't know, a cookie sheet tray
Mhm.
in the oven. And I don't like,
It's too hard to get it crisp.
I don't,
Just do a rack on top of that, and you're there, dude.
the texture gets funky. I end up going just like, I just end up going, I'm just going to take the extra time and mess. I'm going to cook it on a stovetop because the texture is better.
Take one of those. It's
Just like one of the
the
jerky
jerky
racks.
pan. Yeah, they're perfect for it.
Bacon's one of those, like, as you're cooking it, you're like, this looks, I mean, who even remembers it looking like that? And then the second it touches a paper towel, you go, oh, there you are.
That's what it is.
Hey, baby.
That's what
Where
it
you been,
is.
gorgeous?
All right, going on to Meat Matters, unless you got anything else you want to talk about. All right, just don't forget, live stream from 12 to 5 on Monday. First story is profit trackers. It's cattle margins fall underwater. This is from Drovers Magazine. And my only real comment on it is that this is a lot like trigonometry to me in the sense that I don't even understand the premises that we're dealing with.
Sure.
Because how is beef so expensive and everything from the cattlemen is all their profits are down? Like an insane amount too.
I don't know.
Cattle feeders have seen profit margins tumble more than $300 per head over the past month as cash prices erode an average of nearly $9 per hundredweight. Last week found margins decline about $97 per head to an average loss of $2.67 per head, according to the Sterling Beef Profit Tracker. Now, explain to me how last week found margins decline about $97 per head head to an average loss of $267 per head. Does that mean they were making $95 a head? This is the only way I can make sense of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was a profitable business until this. Okay. That marked the first average negative margin since October of last year. Beef packers found improving margins, yet remained $69 head underwater. The packer feeder margin spread narrowed to $66 advantage to cattle feeders. For the week ending November 18th, cash cattle prices averaged $177.77 per hundredweight, which is roughly $2 lower than the previous week. Wholesale beef prices posted an average of $291 per hundredweight, a $3.62 per hundredweight decline from the previous week. So coming down, hopefully that means we're going to see beef prices come down, but it won't. It will not.
I've seen stuff all over the place. I've been to, over the past like 2-3 weeks, like lots of different farmers markets, several different grocery stores, like in town, out of town. And every time I'm out, I just have to look at beef prices. And I've seen stuff all over map to like, I was looking at somewhere, somebody had ribeyes for like $16 a pound at like farmers market. And I'm like, that's great. I almost bought some and I'm like, no, just wait. But then there's been others that like, there's like $23 a pound. And I'm like, absolutely not doing it. Like what, I don't know, what's real? I don't know what's actually real, but prices, they have seemed to be higher, but I've also seen some signs of like some prices actually
coming down
pretty low comparative, but I don't know where it's headed.
So the guy that guided us this weekend owns, I think he said 6 grocery stores in Northwest Kansas. It's Jamboree Foods. And he said he bought, I can't remember how many cases, but a bunch of cases of beef at like a really good price. I think the deal was, they were about to reach the end of their life. But he said he sold all of them, like everything from that in the first day. He just advertised beef on sale at reasonable price and everyone just like came in and just was like, yep, we'll take all of it.
Yeah.
So clearly there's still the appetite for it. It's the price that is pushing people off of eating as much beef, which could very well be what whoever they are, want. So,
yeah.
All right. Next article is from Politico. It says, the stakes are high. Florida Republicans want to ban lab-grown meat. Farming and cattle are incredibly important to the industry, Senator Sora said. So I think this is a very relevant discussion for our state to have. Cioris is a developer who said he doesn't have ties to agriculture, said he hopes Florida will become the first state to ban cultured meat. Now, it wouldn't be the first place to ban cultured meat because Italy is far ahead of us at that point. They have already banned any type of cultured meat. Without legislation, untested, potentially unsafe, and nearly unregulated laboratory-produced meat could be made available in Florida. Simpson said he's an egg farmer. Now, the unregulated part I find very unlikely.
Yeah, that's not going to
That will
happen.
be regulated within.
Although, to be honest, that type of thing is going to have a lot of money behind it. They're going to lobby hard. I wouldn't put it past them skirting outside the normal like processes that the USDA is going to have amongst other meat processing facilities. I could see them just having to be like FDA inspected. Yeah. FDA inspected is not the same as USDA.
Yeah, they won't do USDA inspection. I mean, the big thing with USDA inspection is the slaughter, right? It's not even necessarily as much the processing. It's
all of it.
It's all of it.
It's all of it.
Okay. I always thought it was more the slaughtering.
I mean, I don't know.
Because a non-USDA plant will often bring in boxed beef, right? So what's the difference there? It's that they're not killing.
Yeah.
That might just be my perception on things, though. I could be wrong.
I have to look into that and get some more clarification, but I don't know.
I want to acknowledge the personal growth I'm showing by saying I could be wrong.
But yeah, it's just, yeah. I don't personally like the whole lab grown meat stuff, but at the same time, like, I think the more that people like do stuff like this, like the more it just draws attention to it. Why not just let them do what they're doing? Just don't give subsidies to them. That's where I start to look at, and I'm like, are we gonna offer them millions of dollars to build a processing facility, and then millions of dollars in tax abatements, and then millions of dollars in just grant money to do their research and figure out how to make it cheaper because it's too expensive. It's like, if somebody wants to do it, make them figure it out.
We need to get rid of all corporate welfare, in my mind. All of it. All right. Next one is meat consumption is rising, but not in the way you think. It says it's no surprise that meat consumption has been steadily rising for some time now. For about as long as we've been tracking it, the food system has been shifting to more feed crops like soy and corn, more farm animals, and more chickens and chops on dinner tables. With the release of his book, Animal Liberation, in 2023, the philosopher Peter Singer pointed out, again, the U.S. meat consumption has increased 24% since 1975. But these facts, though they may be true, are not the whole story. It's a common story. As the U.S. became wealthier, food became cheaper, and meat consumption ticked steadily upward. Data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture backs that up. Our raw meat production has more than doubled since 1970, but it turns out how much meat we eat in the U.S. may no longer be on the rise at all. Here's why. Basically, they go over and say, this doesn't calculate for amount that's actually thrown out, an amount that we feed our animals. But guess what?
I bet that percentage is lower than other food that we throw out.
And the numbers from 1975 also didn't calculate in what we feed to animals and the amount we throw out. So there's just so much cope in this article where they're like, no, we're not actually eating more meat. We're not actually. Yes, we absolutely are. Even if you take that out and factor in how many more people there are in the US now, right? Like, because this is just by how much. This isn't by how much per person. It's still an increase of 17%, which is great. Awesome numbers. Yeah. So the amount that's fed to animals and the amount that's thrown out, who cares about that? So good job, Americans. We are eating more meat than ever, as we should be.
I ever tell you about you're just little.
You're good.
Your powwow there just reminded me of a history teacher I had that would he got everyone jazzed up about we're from the USA. Yeah, we got, red, white, and blue. And then he's got the old school projector going. And then he had rankings of where we are academically and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so you're showing our little to no academic prowess compared to Sweden and even countries you wouldn't even imagine are just way above us. And he's going down, chanting down the aisles, going, US, USA. He's trying to have this Robin Williams moment. And I was looking at the guy, I was like, this guy's a nut job, but it's a cool fact.
That is pretty cool though. Yeah. It's all since
he was trying. So
it's all since the Department of Education was formed.
Yeah.
All right. China's sow herd declines for the 10th consecutive month. Data from the Chinese Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs reveals that China's sow herd has decreased to 42.1 million, down from 42.4 million in September, marking a 10th consecutive month of decline. However, the state broadcaster CCTV indicated that the government still considers this level to be higher than necessary, as pork consumption has been lower than anticipated and productivity has continued to rise. The situation has put pressure on hog prices in China, which are now 42% lower than they were a year ago. The ministry has stated its intentions to stabilize the situation and encourage a more reasonable level of production. However, specific details about the policy shifts that may be implemented to achieve this goal have not been provided. I don't understand why they don't think that's just already, it sounds like they're already doing it, right? 10 months of continued negative growth. China is a command economy. Sounds like the government has already stepped in and been like, no, we're producing less pork now.
Yeah.
So this is just from Ag Fund News. We won't talk about it much, but cultivated meat, 70 to 90% of players will fall in the next year. This is from Elaine Watson, but it says, on paper, cultivated meat might seem like a no-brainer. Unlike plant-based options, which still don't quite hit the spot for many consumers, it promises the allure of real meat without the ethical and environmental baggage that comes with plundering our oceans and raising billions of sentient land animals for food.
That sentence is just a beautiful sentence.
Where do you think she falls on this?
Yeah.
On this, whatever battlefield.
Could we?
It's nice.
Yeah, I'd bet a lot of money this was not put into the opinion section. This
Probably
is
not.
just meant to be an editorial, and that's just horrible. Yeah, it's the world we live in.
It is the world we live in. But it is nice when someone tells you who they are and where they what their beliefs are in the first paragraph, so that you can then color the rest of the facts of the article. But doesn't really matter because basically they're saying almost the entire industry is going to get wiped out because there just is not the demand for it. All the initial venture capitalism is what am I trying to say? Yeah, venture capitalism.
Yeah.
Or capital, thank you, is starting to dry up and they're having to rely on actual sales and the sales are just not there. All right, moving on. Scientists make bold claim that the best way to cook a steak is in a microwave.
Whoa.
This is why nobody likes those nerds.
No. Meat does not cook in a microwave. My wife tried to cook bratwurst in a microwave one time, and it did not turn out well. We don't do that.
From raw?
Here is what the guy is actually saying. He's saying what you should do is put it in the microwave for a minute or two, and then...
At what setting?
It didn't... It's a good question. Didn't say. But and then pan fry it at incredibly high heat a minute aside. He also says in this not to salt your steak before frying it because salt draws moisture out of the meat. So you're actually making it tougher. I was going to try that one. He says that not to do, like, if you're going to grill like you normally do, just do whatever go ahead, salt it, season it before. But if you're pan frying it, do not salt it first.
Okay.
I was interested in that. I was going to try.
Well, if you did so how a lot of people in the pan, they do the butter based or whatever. Would you not use butter or would you use unsalted butter? Does that matter?
I don't know if that matters. At the end of the article, though, it does say like Gordon Ramsay says this is nonsense. Keep salting your stuff before.
Dodo.
I mean, just going back to the beginning of it, if you cook something in the microwave, maybe people have a better microwave than I have, but microwaves do not cook evenly at all. Like, at least in my experience, like they come out like hot spots, cold spots. Like,
yeah,
isn't that why it rotates?
Still,
I mean, yeah, but if you really read the packaging on a lot of stuff, it's like you have to like put it on a certain wattage. So like you're supposed to change depending on what you're eating. You're supposed to go power level 1 through 9.
I never
change it. And then you're supposed to rotate stuff. Sometimes either flip it over or, just like with pizza, if I have 2 slices, I'll take them and then spin them to where the inside's now the outside and stuff like that. So there's white trash methods.
I've never done any of that stuff. Real quick, I think you were in the room, so don't jump in if you were. When you go and buy a bag of like boneless buffalo wings, frozen boneless buffalo wings, what temperature do you cook them to?
I was not in the room for this.
Okay.
I don't know. I look at the box and see if they say fully cooked or not.
Okay.
If they say fully cooked, then I just heat them up. If they're not fully cooked, then I don't know. I cook them till at least 165.
Okay.
Like probably higher, to be honest, because they're not crispy enough.
So what's the question? What I put the oven at?
No, what do you cook the internal temperature of
frozen wings to?
Mm-hmm.
Like
I don't even check them. I throw them in the oven at 350 for like no less than 10, 12, like until you start to sizzle and see it. And then I'll try like whatever. It usually says however many minutes and I set the timer on that. And
do you have a digital thermometer at home?
Yes. I've had a couple here.
Then why wouldn't you use it?
Kind of Well, usually frozen wings are already prepared. They're already cooked. Okay. You have to go out of the way to find.
I've never paid attention to the fact that it says fully cooked somewhere on it. So I've always cooked everything up to 165.
I probably
always.
Dude, there's been times here you're temping frozen and I'm like, dude, those are fully cooked.
Yeah. Some of it, yeah. So like
probably nice, but
if you read it, it'll say fully cooked, and then sometimes it'll even say like, okay, you still need to do this.
Right.
Cooked till
but those are suggestions.
Yeah, and I ignore it all. To be honest, there's times when I actually ate something with chicken yesterday that did not say fully cooked on it, and it had safe cooking instructions, cooked 165, blah blah blah. But I looked at it and I'm like, that's been cooked. This is just a CYA thing,
right?
So I don't know. I probably heated it to 120 degrees. Heat it just enough to be warm.
Dude,
just warm. Yeah.
I was at the arena the other day, and like an idiot, I was like, let me get a grilled chicken sandwich, And then like as I start to like the scene unfold in front of me of all these people that like have never been behind. They're not fry cooks. They're not.
No.
They're volunteer. They're kind of like, I got one in the window. I got a chicken, and it's their first order because I'm working there, so I'm early. And I got a grilled chicken. You want to fry with that, sir? Yeah, fry. I go, here's Diet Pepsi. I go, I'm supposed to get half off. I don't know what to do. They have a sheet. He's like, hold on. I go, hold on. Let's take a breath. You have a paper there. Let me sign it.
Okay.
I'll put the thing. And then as I'm eating it upstairs, I was like, is this even cooked? Like, I know it was, but I started to really investigate. And you know, when you're in a dimly lit room, anything you're looking at does not look cooked or as it should. So I stopped eating it. So, yeah.
On the flip side, have you ever had, I guess you always fully cook it. Better question for Patrick.
Yes.
Have you ever had chicken that looked like it was fully cooked and you just warm it up and then you eat it and you realize this is raw?
Yeah, I've been into one thing one time where it was fully like, I go, my body knew and I like rejected it. Like it was a weird impulse. Yeah. Like it was years ago from an actual place, and I go full bite. It was like, I go, oh, that's cold. And then like, as soon as I like look down and then you go, the flavor's not right. And I go, oh, that's completely pink. And it was just like a push away from my face. And I was like, ugh.
Isn't it weird that I have no problems eating raw beef, but the thought of just a little bit undercooked poultry disgusts me. So, all right. Semi-hauling 1,900 piglets overturns in Ohio.
Oh,
And
how do you fit that many on a semi?
that's what I thought. Like, that's insane. It must be multiple levels.
I guess.
But they rounded up most of them. So just a few of them out there being coyote food.
That's not good. So I saw something the other day that if you take like a domestic pig, you put it in the wild for like a month, feral hog.
Yeah, that's why we have such a feral hog problem, is because they escaped from farms and just repopulate, or they go feral and repopulate that. Within a month,
have you seen Babe?
Within like a month, they will start growing like thick fur, and their tusks will start, like, as soon as you get them out of the farm environment, they're like,
how does
this is what I am?
It's just that just blows my mind.
No, nature is wild. All right, moving on to wild card. First one we have, we can't show the video, but that video, if you scroll down a little bit, gave me absolute just so much anxiety. They put a camera on a great white shark's dorsal fin, and just it swimming through and hunting through kelp fields. I forced myself to watch it, but I did not like it.
They should remake Jaws by doing stuff like that and like getting real footage.
Actual footage.
Yeah.
So there is a movie called The Reef. These guys fly down to Australia. They're like businesses to take yachts and sail them to whoever bought them. And they hit a reef. They bring their girlfriends. They hit a reef in the middle of the night. The boat flips over. They're in the middle of nowhere. No shipping channels. No nothing. So the one guy's like, we're going to die if we don't try to swim to this island. It's like 10 miles away. And then one of the guys who doesn't have a girlfriend with him is like, I fish these waters. I know what's out there. I'm not getting in the water. Ooh. So they use real great whites in that. And it is super creepy.
Have you ever seen that movie Open Water, where they're like
stuck
in? Yeah.
I'm not afraid of those sharks, though.
Well, it's a great premise, but like for the year the movie came out and the budget it had and the TVs we all watched it on, we didn't see anything. It's just darkness for like half the movie. And
That's
you just
fair.
know they're floating.
Yeah.
It's like the Blair Witch, but in the ocean. It was just kind of terrifying.
But yeah, the premise behind this article more was sharks spend a lot more time way, way down in the ocean than we previously thought. It's that layer that, like, the twilight zone, they call it, where like no real light gets down to it. And animals from the very deep come up during that time, because that's as high as they can, that's as high as they can come without, damaging their eyes or whatever. And it's about as deep as pelagic sharks go, because, they have to see to be able to eat. But they're starting to think like, okay, is there way more biomass down there than we previously thought? Like, what is happening to force these sharks to go down to that depths? Is there a whole new food source that we don't understand that's down there? But yeah, I thought that was a cool thought and a good reminder that we don't know anything about the ocean. Anything could be down there.
Oh, it's very uncharted.
Yeah, anything, including megalodon.
There's another ocean down there.
That is the premise of one of those, the movie The Meg. How do you know?
Of course we know the movie The Meg. He talks about it all the time. It's that book he read with sharks in it.
The Meg.
Yeah. Just say yes.
They came out with Jason Statham. It was about the megalodon.
Shark movie.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
No, you don't. Anyways, one of the premises is
it's perfect.
in World War II, a sub got sunk and it went down in the Pacific Ocean and actually crashed through the floor. And there's another ocean underneath it. And it's awesome. Absolutely great. Okay. Bitterroot grizzly transplant plans are dismissed. So recovering the bitterroot. So I care about this because the Bitterroot is where we go when we go up to Rendezvous. And I like the fact that I can walk around Montana and not worry about grizzlies.
Oh.
Yeah, why? Like, I understand people love animals. They want them to like live everywhere, but like there's a reason why animals no longer live in some places because humans have taken over different areas. One of which could be where grizzlies live. One could be buffalo across Kansas. We don't have buffalo anymore. If we had, I know this is a touchy subject for probably some of the people that we're associated with, but like it would be a bad thing to have like buffalo like running across the middle of Kansas, running across K96 over here.
Terrible.
That'd be a bad idea.
Terrible idea.
Who was that?
I don't know.
No clue. I
someone's
just saw
creeping.
eyes in a hat.
I think it was your dad.
I would assume so.
But normally he would just walk in as your brother.
Could have been my older brother.
Yeah, it's probably cool. Somebody just stuck their head in and then turned around and left.
It's too bright with the lights here. Like
Couldn't see it.
dark over
Yeah.
there.
There is also a reason that the Memphis Grizzlies are a thing because there used to be Plains Grizzlies around Memphis and we killed them all off because they wouldn't stop killing us.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh boy.
there's a good reason to keep humans and grizzly bears separated. They're 1,200 pound, 11-foot tall monsters with swords for fingers. Like, I do not want that roaming around my house. But this is actually all about back in the 90s. Some plan was enacted to start reintroducing grizzlies to certain areas because they do fall on the under the Endangered Species Act, which means that the government has a responsibility to monitor and protect them. These bears they were going to put in, it was basically a special exemption. So they would have been able to be managed without having to worry about the fact that they're endangered species, meaning if you had a nuisance bear or anything like that, the local city council could just be like, yep, go kill it. But they sued for a long time to get them to stop doing this, and it's going forward again. Problem is, grizzlies have started showing up in the Bitterroot Valley because we've protected them for so long. Their populations are increasing and spreading out. One of them, grizzly bears, keep pushing east, now in the Missouri Breaks region. So the Missouri Breaks region is not in Missouri, for those who...
By the Missouri River, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's in Montana, but it's east. So they keep moving further and further east. Needs to be closely monitored because while I like the idea of having mountain lions around Kansas, I do not like the idea of having grizzly bears around Kansas. Although maybe that would give me an excuse to buy that high point 10 millimeter I wanted to buy.
Yeah.
Did I show you a picture of it? The ugliest gun ever created?
Mm-mm.
There's a high point, which is a very inexpensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It looked like what somebody would try to make a mock sci-fi gun back in the 80s look like. Like just terrible. But shoots 10 millimeter. I don't have a 10 millimeter. Are you looking up the Missouri Breaks region?
Just looking where the Missouri River goes. Why is it the Missouri River?
I don't know why it's called the Missouri Breaks.
It's a long ways away from Missouri.
Yeah.
Does it like
It's got to have something else to do with it.
have a major flow point in Missouri? Is that what cuts across the middle of Missouri?
Okay.
Probably.
Texas woman asks for public's help identifying mysterious animal caught on camera near her home. What does that look like to you?
It's like I don't know.
Looks like a combination of two animals. to
like
me.
a coyote that has some DNA damage. I don't know. But it's too big for a coyote.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else it would be.
The head and the ears look like a wild hog to me. The body looks like a mountain lion.
Yeah, I just don't think it looks like it. I get more of the hog front. It doesn't look. I don't think that could be a mountain lion. But what do they think it is?
They don't know.
They don't know.
That can't. Well, the chupacabra, but that definitely is not a hog body. It has way too. Its stomach is too small. It's not fat enough, and its hind haunches are not right at all for any type of pig.
I think it's fake. Just going with fake, not real.
Okay, I could see that.
Someone's just looking for publicity.
People do weird things for attention. See, like that, just like that. All right, you got anything else?
Nope.
We're wrapped up. We will see you guys on Monday, 12 p.m. Waltons.com/live for our long live stream.
Looking forward to it.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltons.com. To get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.